Hello everyone. Welcome to Dr. Rajkumar Academy. Welcome to the session on 10/3/2023. So guys, BJP MLA finally appears before Lokayukta. The corruption scandal in BJP has been exposed where the son is being caught and he was arrested, he was released, so there are a lot of issues going on with respect to that. Center to reconsider safe harbor clause in IT law. Fine. 6. IT law government wants to implement it. It is called Digital India Act 2023. Now they are trying to modify Information Technology Act 2000 guys. Under this there is something called as safe harbor. What is the meaning of safe harbor? It is the principle that the so-called intermediaries. Who are the intermediaries? Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, right? These are called intermediaries on the internet, are not responsible for what third parties post on their website. So what is the meaning of this? It's very simple guys. Let us say you post something on the Facebook, you post something on the Twitter. So it says that they are not responsible for it. Who is not responsible? The Facebook, Twitter is not responsible for what you tweet or post on the Facebook. That is called safe harbor. Now, because of this, you cannot question them. But recently, we have made certain guidelines, and under those guidelines, what we have seen is, in case if government sees any post to be wrong, then it will ask Facebook, Twitter to remove it immediately, and they also remove it immediately. So, what is important for us is here it is trying to say that they want to consider safe harbor clause. They want to change that safe harbor clause. Nothing much, guys. This is yet to be implemented completely. They have sent it for people's comments on it. So if you can write down safe harbor, safe harbor hyphen, it is the principle, it is the principle that the so-called intermediaries on the internet are not responsible are not responsible for what is posted on their website. Full stop. Because of this, social media platforms social media platforms escape liability. Escape liability. Next point. In recent years, in recent years, government has made some modifications where where they require platforms to take down orders or posts when government requests them. Next point. Fundamental speech. rights, fundamental speech rights, cannot be violated by any platform. But there can be a case made that weaponization of disinformation is not the same as free speech, and that needs to be addressed. So guys, next, free of opposition. See guys, this is the worst part. In Nagaland, recently elections happened, and NDPP BJP government, they got approximately 37 seats, guys, out of 60. And there was opposition, like, others also won. But now everyone has joined the government, and no one is in opposition. And they say that our main aim is to come together for Nagaland. So, like, all opposition members are asking some ministry or so, and they have all joined. So that is not good for democracy, is what the article is trying to tell. The ideal track to run India's logistics systems. See, India is the only country in the world where railways are mostly used for people transportation rather than goods transportation. Anywhere in the world, railways is meant to transport raw materials cheaply from the resource rich areas to what we call as market or industry, and from industry to market. So railways is meant for that transportation. Unfortunately, in India, because of the domination of people movement, freight movement or goods movement is given least priority, and this has led to huge problems. Now, Indian government realizing this, we have gone for what we call as, dedicated freight corridors. What is the meaning of dedicated freight corridors? There will be railway track which will be used only for goods movement and not for people movement. And that track is coming on the western terminal. One is almost from Gujarat till Delhi region. Another one is coming from, your West Bengal to almost Delhi region. They want to extend it in other parts of the country as well. But one of the biggest problem is last and first mile connectivity, we say is. What is the meaning of last and first mile connectivity? Let us say, a railway track is like this. But there is a place here and there is a place here. Now, the goods from these places will come to this particular place through trucks or buses. Fine. Now, once it comes here, then it should be unloaded and put it into the railway line. Correct? But the fear here is when you unload and load, there can be damage. So if even these lines can be made railway lines, then it would be very, very easy, is what they are planning to tell us. Fine. So, guys, in all this, what is more important for us as of now is, right? In all this, what is more important for us is last mile connectivity and first mile connectivity, along with increasing logistical support, is very, very important for running India's logistical systems, is what they tell. I don't want you to write all this. For geography optional, guys, this article can be important. You can make a note, but others not so important, guys. Can the cheetahs help India's grasslands? Because this is an interesting article. The government is saying that the first batch of cheetahs from Namibia is gradually acclimatizing to Indian conditions. How long will it be before a clear picture emerges of the success of translocation exercise? See, guys, we are bringing every year some 20 adult cheetahs from Africa to India. Cheetahs are the one which like to run. Tigers and leopards can be present where forest is there, but cheetahs need grasslands. And in India, it is Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan region where you have this type of environment. And in that, we are planning to increase the numbers. And what we have thought is every year 2020 we want to bring. So if we bring every year 2020, after 10 to 20 years, how many species will be left? Only some 20 to 40 species will be left. The meaning of this is even when we bring so many, not everything will adjust, many may die. And what is more important is it is very important for them to breed. And the new animals which take birth, they must be capable of sustaining to this environment. And then what is going to happen? Slowly we will be at a pace of protecting, is what they are trying to tell. Environment Minister Bhupender Yadav said that cheetah reintroduction program has a larger goal of improving India's grasslands. Yes. For this, what is the meaning of this? Will introducing cheetah protect the grasslands? See, today in some areas there are no animals, guys. As there are no animals, we have not protected them under national parks or wildlife sanctuaries. We don't say whether it is a national park or a wildlife sanctuary at all. We say it's useless. But now, when you introduce the cheetah, you know that in this wasteland, you have cheetah. And once you get to know that, you will call it as a national park or a wildlife sanctuary. When you call it as a national park or wildlife sanctuary, protection of that particular area improves. But the other person says that you are giving some areas of grasslands as wasteland and you are giving it for solar energy production and all. Will all those projects stop if cheetahs are being reintroduced? But here the point is, whenever you try to introduce the animals and when you need to protect it, definitely you will make them as conservative things. One of the government's aim is to introduce ecotourism initiatives as part of long-term plans while creating alternative livelihood for local population in Kuno is a laudable proposition. Can ecotourism and conservation go hand in hand? For this, the people who are replying are not comfortable. We are not interested in that. But I just want you to know certain aspects of this. Is Kuno National Park can be asked this here in any form. So just be prepared for this. India is top tier security partner, says Australian Prime Minister. Guys, Indian Prime Minister and Australian Prime Minister visited the cricket field, like they met, they spoke, they came back. India and Australia is coming together to work together in Indian Ocean. Remember, Australia was a very good friend of US. And during Cold War, India was close to USSR, Australia was close to US. So we both never had an opportunity to come closer. But for the first time in the last few years, because of Quad, Malabar exercises, and others, India and Australia are coming together in defense issues as well. So Australia is trying to say India is top tier security partner for us. Abusing someone with caste name during an argument won't lead to SC/ST Act. IPSA can play a vital role in reforming digital governance. Yes, IPSA basically means India, Brazil, South Africa. Guys, these three countries are coming together on several issues and they are planning for free trade agreement as well. And the article is trying to say that they are also planning to reform digital governance. Right? They want to ensure that digital governance is good. MOU on semiconductors will help India play bigger role in electronic supply chain US. You see guys. Actually, semiconductor technology is very, very important for future. Why? You take electric vehicles, right? You are moving towards mobile phones, electronics, anything. If you talk about semiconductors are mandatory. Unfortunately, developing countries like India, China doesn't have the required technology. India was planning to invest some thousands of crores in semiconductor technology. Now, an MOU with US means we may get the technology, and once we get the technology, we will be in a position to have those industries in our country. And China doesn't have those industries. China recently told that the world wants to stop us from giving semiconductor technology. I repeat, the world wants to stop us from giving semiconductor technology. And their main goal is if India is not given, sorry, if China is not given semiconductor technology, then the industries associated with it will not flourish in China and China will stay back. But US and Europe doesn't have population and cheap labor. India is the only country which can provide an alternative to this. And it is at this point the world is looking at India, and India and US are working together to improve electronics. Very, very important, guys. Very, very important. Yes, this is a very good issue. Punjab tillers to get ownership rights over 11,200 to benefit. Yes, this is one of the best thing that can ever happen, guys. The meaning of this is like some people do not have title rights, guys. They will be working, but they are not the owners of the lands. Now, almost 11,200 people have been given the titles. When we talk about land reforms, which is not successful in the country, this type of measures look promising. MPs' comment on parliament on foreign soil cannot be ignored. VP. Rahul Gandhi may be opposition and he can go and talk anything he wants, yes, but he is also answerable to the parliament. That is what Vice President is trying to tell. Rahul dangerous for India's unity. CPIM Congress delegations. Yeah. Yes, actually, in India, mostly thermal power plants are used. Here, what is happening? Like, coal is very important for thermal power plants. Unfortunately, coal is not available in few thermal power plants. And if that is not there, the industry will not work effectively. So, railways is coming in support of this coal sector. They are providing the support and helping that the coal is made to reach, right? Russian missile barrage slams into Ukrainian cities. Nepal elects Ram Chandra Paudel as new president. President, like India only, is indirectly elected there. Full trade deal to be in place by Q3, says Australia's Farrell. Because India and Australia are planning for trade deal, and Australia is saying that within 2 3 months we will be going to get it. So, guys, these are some of the important issues we had. Thank you. Guys.